Hello everybody. Angie here. I'm coming on with my weekly make for my challenge, hashtag 1 to 6 picks challenge. And the way we ended last week, we pulled the prompts, striped, and celebration for this week's makes. So we're gonna get right into this. Okay, how's everybody doing? Everybody doing good? I sure hope so. Hope everyone's having a good week, getting started and getting ready for their weekend. So, in these makes, I'm trying my best to try new things, new pieces, just different things, just trying to keep it interesting and fun and get rid of my inventory, use things that I already have without doing any printing or purchasing or anything like that, just work with what I've got. So, I started searching and I couldn't really think of where I wanted to go with the stripes, but I ran across this striped scrapbook paper. It's just a piece of 4x6. So then focusing on this piece of paper, I pulled everything that I thought might go. So I pulled a bunch of little scraps and bits and things like that that had that color palette with the long lavender and purple. And I found these little die cuts of a couple balloons. So I thought that was perfect for celebration, because when you're celebrating, you blow up balloons for a party, different things like that. So I thought I was on the right track. And I was really having fun with the pieces that I had found. Although I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them, I was pleased with the pieces. Then I ran across this piece of laminated clear plastic. It's been sitting for a minute, so I thought maybe that we can incorporate that. Okay, so then I just kept looking, and my mind went left. So I'm going to put those aside, and I found this beautiful piece of lace trim, and it's got stripes in it. Okay, so I was focused on this because it's more vintage and, you know, foo-foo-ish kind of thing, and girlyish and delicate and pretty. So I knew I wanted to use this. Okay, so I went on a scavenger hunt again and tried to find pieces that I wanted to work with this. Well, this is what I found. Okay, and actually I found some little, they're not really chipboard pieces, but they're little, just kind of like die cuts, but they're store-bought. They're not anything that I die cut myself. I don't remember where I got them, but you know, there was like 50 in a pack, and this is what I'm down to. So again, on those lines of celebration, so I grabbed those. Not real exactly pleased with the colors, but we can get around that, I think. And back to this. So I know I want to work with this, and I want this to be like a pocket. I want to make this a pocket. Okay, so I went to my scraps and I found this piece of vellum. And I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but it's got some shimmer and some sparkle in it, like glitter. And I thought that's kind of a celebratory look, along with the shine of the gold on this trim. So I knew these are the two pieces are going to be my main focus point. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through my thought process as I'm working, but I don't want to waste too much time just talking about each individual piece. Okay, so this is, I think, is going to be my base for my pocket. I want this to be my pocket, but it's too flimsy, so I definitely have got to put this on something. So I thought that combine the trim along with the vellum, it will give me a somewhat sturdy pocket. Okay, so let's see, this is 5.5 by a little over 4, about 4 1/4 and 5.5, and that's almost a good sized pocket, I think. Might be a little bit tall, and I'm definitely going to have to do some sewing on this, okay, because gluing this very delicate trim is just not going to work with the holes and everything. So I'm going to have to pull out my sewing machine real quick. Okay, and I like that. I think I want that to be down at the bottom, but I want this to be at the top. I don't want to have to cut it down. I don't mind cutting it narrow wise, but I don't want to cut off the little white trim, and I don't want to cut off the, you know, the lacy edge either. So let's see. I think I do want to cut this down just a bit. I think almost 6 is a little too big. I'm just going to cut off maybe a 1/2 inch or so. Yeah, let's make like a 5-inch pocket. I think that'll be ideal. And I think 4 1/4 is good because I'm going to have to stitch around the edges a little bit, so that's going to take a little bit off each side. So I'll end up with about a 4-inch width pocket. I think that'll be perfect. Okay, so let's cut this down. And I'm going to leave a little extra on the edges because you know how when you're working with a real delicate fabric or trim, it can cause problems, at least for me from time to time. So I'm going to leave a little extra and I'll trim that off. So let's cut this down first. And I know that's jagged, but I know I'm going to be trimming it off, so that's not a problem. And it's only because my finger blade's a little dull. Okay, so we'll put that to the side. Straighten that out. And I could put glue on this and just glue it down, but the reason I'm choosing to stitch is because if you've worked with glue and vellum, it tends to make the vellum curl, and I don't want to have to deal with that. And if I just put the glue down and leave it alone, it dries flat. But because of video purposes and time restraint, I'm not able to do that. So that's why I'm just going to stitch it. Okay. So what I was thinking is if I can get it stitched straight, I'm just going to run a stitch across each edges and one right down the lower half. And I thought I would just bring this trim up, fold it up a little bit, like so. Let me make sure I'm in frame here. Okay, there we go. And I want it to dangle off the bottom just a little. Something like that. And then that can be an additional pocket there as well. I think I like that. But just getting it and keeping it and holding it straight while I'm stitching, I think that's going to be the main challenge in this. But I like that look right there. And that can be a little tuck spot pocket right there as well. Okay, but we need to be able to differentiate the levels in the pocket. So I grabbed some trim, and this will be kind of like a shabby chic or a Victorian style look to the pocket here. I don't want to lose that pin. Let me put that somewhere. Maybe put that right across there. I think I like that. So I'll just run a stitch down each side and right in the middle there. Actually, I'm going to do it without this. I'm going to glue this piece on because I don't want the brown stitching to show through on there. Yeah, I'm going to try it. Let's see how this works, guys, okay? So let me move all this to the side, bring up my sewing machine. So it will get a little noisy for just a couple minutes here. So if you want to turn your volume down or pause until I'm done. Oh, I got to thread my needle real quick here too. Got a little. Just take a second, guys. I'm sorry. I grabbed my machine, but I didn't notice that the needle wasn't threaded. So I hope everybody is enjoying my make so far. I am having a lot of fun with it, and I'm using up bits and pieces, and I'm trying my best to use the makes as I make them, filling up journals and spots and spaces in, you know, previous journals that I've made that I haven't really decorated, or I still have room to put some, you know, ephemera pieces on. So they're definitely getting used. They're not just getting made and put to the side. And I like that. Okay, so let's try and get this stitched here. And I think, well, I'm going to do a zigzag stitch. think, right, try and get it straight here. See, that's the tricky part. When you're dealing with two delicate materials, I got vellum and a really delicate lace here. So please be patient with me. I want it to look nice. Okay, I think I got it in place. Okay, now if I can just hold it in place, I'll be good. All right, here we go with some stitching, guys. I'm going to stop about halfway down and fold my lace over and create my little slot for my second pocket, my little lace pocket there. And it's trying to buckle on me a little bit. There we go. All right, I think I did pretty good. Now a little across the bottom. And I think I'm going to switch and do a straight stitch along the bottom. Okay, turn. Go back to my zigzag stitch. Okay. And do I really need a stitch? I'm going to go ahead and do a stitch on that little fold that I did. I don't think I really need it, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. And I'm just going to do a straight stitch on that. Just a quick straight stitch. All right, that didn't take long at all. Thank you for your patience there, guys. Okay, the only thing by doing that stitch along the fold is it's going to shorten my pocket on my vellum page, which is not a problem. I don't mind that. But if I wanted a deeper pocket, I would have to have left that open. So I'm just trimming off my threads. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. And I did get that exactly straight, but that's not a problem. We're going to cover that up, because that's where this baby comes in. And I'm going to put that right there. All right, so let's clean up our edges real quick. And surprisingly enough, that makes for a pretty sturdy pocket. So trim this side down just a smidge. Okay. I think that looks really nice. All right, now back to this piece. I think that's the front. And I got one bit too long. Okay, so then I can glue that down on there. So let's do that next. And that can be drying while I decide on what else I'm going to do. Okay, that's kind of a heavy trim too, so we're going to give that a set. Give that a minute to set. Well, hold on to that. Maybe we can use that for something. Okay, so stripes. I've got the stripes so far, and that's the striped pattern in the lace fabric. Now for celebration, that's where these little things come in. I thought I would use a couple of these, 3 of these. Let me grab my ink. And we'll kind of dingy these up a little bit. Ink them. And these will be some little journal cards. And I thought I'd just tuck those right in there. Just trying to grunge them up just a bit. All right, got 3 really easy journal cards. Isn't that cute? I think that's kind of cute. All right, now we need to do a little something extra on here. So I found these images of these Victorian ladies, and this is one of the things that drew me to the purple and the lavender that I had here, because that her beautiful outfit is striped, and it's a purple plum color there. But maybe I could still use these because I've got a couple of them. And then I ran across these as well, and I thought that was appropriate for party, any of these. Because when you go to a festive party, you want to dress up, doll yourself up, and put on your best attire for the celebratory, whatever you're celebrating, right? So, this will be a pocket, and we can make this a journal card like right there. I think that's nice. Then I've got these bigger, they're kind of like postcard style. And then maybe we could put one behind. Because the way I put this down, I'm just thinking, I'm just talking myself through it. It actually gives myself a multi pocket, because we've got a little tuck spot pocket there, okay? And then lifting the lace up, we've got a pocket there, and the way I folded the vellum, we could use that as an additional pocket there, and then when you put it down on your page, you've got a pocket there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got a 4 slot pocket. And we definitely want to capitalize on that if we can, but this is almost a little bit too wide, so I'm gonna have to trim that down. Well, let's just glue it, because this is just printed on copyweight paper, so we're gonna have to strengthen that as well as make a little backing for a journal spot. And I've got this scrap coffee dyed paper, and it almost fits. I'm gonna go ahead and just use these, and we'll just trim this down, because we're gonna have to trim these down just a tad anyway to get them to fit in the pocket. So let's just do that first. Try and get it somewhat straight. Yeah, we'll just have to trim off just a small bit off the edges and the top and bottom. That's not a problem. Let's go ahead and glue the next one down. We'll lose just a small bit, but I can work with that. And then as far as these, Where's that other image that I just had? I think I'm just going to glue this one closed. And we'll just have a pretty image on both sides. Rather than having two separate, we'll just have one. Okay. Let's trim this off. And I think I'm just going to go to the inside of those little brown margins and see if that will be a good size for me. I'll use that as my guide to cut. These images are so pretty. This came from a freebie that I got off of one of my Facebook groups. You know, they give you free images constantly if you're, you know, following in their group. So I try to capitalize and take advantage of those free printables when I can. Okay, let's see if that's narrow enough to get into my pocket here. And I think it will make it. Yep. So let's round those corners. Journal cards, I usually like to round the corners, makes it look a little more finished. All right. Hold on to that in case I need it again. All right, so we're gonna have plenty of writing spots for this particular ephemera piece. Okay, that looks like that's dried. Now, to further take that celebratory part of the prompt, I found this little chipboard piece, okay? And it just has the word celebrate and the definition to commemorate an event with festivities. So I thought it needed a word element anyway, so I thought I would incorporate that, maybe just right there. But I don't particularly like the thickness, and I've shown this before. If you like using a chipboard, and sometimes they're just too thick, what I do, no, that's a sticker. I guess I could just leave it. But what you can do is take away some of the plies on that cardboard backing and make it a little bit thinner if you want to. You know what, I'm just gonna leave it. Yep, I'm just gonna leave it. But I'm not gonna trust the backing is gonna be strong enough, so I'm gonna add a little extra glue. Try to center that. Oh, wait a second. I wanted to bring in a little ink first. So I have to put a little more glue. And try and get it good and dark. Get that vintage look. All right, let's bring a little more glue in. Right about there. Okay, I like that. And then, and that kind of helps because the text on here is green and I've got a green balloon. So that kind of helps with the color palette. So that works there. Then we've got our two nice big journal cards. ink on the edges there. And that will go there. Let's do the yellow one in the front. So if we put one to the back, and then we actually put one in the slotted pocket. Oh, it's barely gonna fit. I love it. Okay, and we can stagger them like that. And then we've got another pocket behind the lace. So that's where these ladies can come in. Or, let's see, let me just, I kind of like the idea. I love these Victorian dresses. Isn't that gorgeous? So let me just see how that looks behind the, I might just put those in and not an additional one. I like their heads kind of tucking out. I kind of like that. Okay, we're gonna go with that as well. So let's round these corners. Bring a little ink in. All right, so we're gonna do one to the back. We're gonna do one in the actual vellum pocket itself. And I love that that just barely fits perfectly. Okay, we're gonna stagger those journal cards to the back, and then this one will go behind the, and if you wanna kinda offset them, you can do that. Oh, I like that, the way their heads are kinda just peeking out. And then we've got journal spots on the balloons. We've got the word celebrate. I like that. Okay, I'm thinking maybe a little something extra. On this, let's see. Maybe a little ruffle. Then I'd have to bring my sewing machine back up, guys. Let me just see how that would look. I think it would actually be really cute, but it would cover their faces a little bit unless I put it to the back. I could do something like that. I kind of like that. Why don't we just do that with a staple? I'm going to put a little glue back here. And I'm not going to worry too much about getting it really, really straight. And this is just a real thin chiffon lace trim. I'm going to just bunch it up really close together. Let's see if I can get it to hold. Put a little bit of glue just to kind of hold it in place. And then I think I'm just going to put a staple right across the top. Bunch it up. Maybe I cut too much, huh? Let's trim that down. And if I can get my stapler around that, that'll be perfect, I think. All right. let's see what we can do here. I'm gonna put a little bit more glue because it's coming unfrayed on me. Okay. Now to get a staple in all this. If it'll work, keep your fingers crossed for me. Not too bad. A little bit more glue right there. Just hold that piece in place. And a little bit on, let's see. Yeah, see how that's kind of laying down? Let's try and get that a little bit more to the front. A little bit more. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and to cover the staple, why don't we just put that right there? You don't throw away your little bits and pieces till you're all the way done with your make. You never know where just the smallest bit can come in handy. Very cute. Okay, let's see what else. So it's going to go down on your journal page like so. 4 little tuck spot pockets. Oh, I think that's adorable. What do you think, guys? I think that's really cute. Just like that. Okay. I feel like that green, though, is a little bold. I don't mind the other two. I do have these. How about this? It's got some green in it. I feel like we need to bring a little something more in. Let's cut a couple of these off. I like that. Okay. What do you think, guys? I think that might be a little too much, huh? All right, we're just gonna go with the 2 green ones. I think that helps the overall color palette a little bit. Maybe I should turn that over. Let's see. Should we put a pearl right in the middle? I have my pearls out as well. Let's see. It's kind of thick. Let's take a look, see how that's going to look. And it's just different colored flat back pearls, little mini ones. I don't have any green though. I got these kind of a soft gold looking colored ones. How about those? Middle of the flowers. And maybe one up there. Yeah. All right, let's do that. You just go and go and go until you think you've got enough. That's all you do. I might need to use a little super hot glue on that. Let's try this glue here. I love this glue. Works so good. Found this at Walmart, and I've talked about it before. Oh, it's kind of like my cheaper version of Fabrifix or Fabri-Tac, you know, the fabric glue. Create Basics all-purpose clear glue. It was like $6 for this, 16 ounce, and it works fantastic. It's got a really good bond. Okay, make sure those pearls aren't going to come up. All right, guys, what do you guys think? Do I need anything else? I've got layers. I've got beautiful fabrics and trims. Got pearls, got shimmer, got shine, got ruffles. Oh, got a word. I think that's good right there. And that's how it will go down on a journal page, just like that. And I think that is really, really nice. Pearl is not doing what I want it to do. Neither is this one. There we go. Okay, so there we go, guys. I think that's good. I think I'm going to call that done. We've got striped, and there's stripes in the fabric, as well as there's stripes. Oh, I forgot about this little pearl. I'll put that in, as well as in her beautiful outfit. So let's put that down before I lose it. There we go. Okay. This little crocheted flower is kind of lopsided, so it's not wanting to grab hold for some reason. Okay, I think I got it that time, maybe. Okay, so we've got a 4-tiered pocket made with a small piece of scrap of vellum paper and a beautiful lace trim. We brought in some other trims and little bits for decorating. I used the Celebrate word, as well as they're getting ready to go to their High Acidity function there, and they're all glammed up. So there's a pocket there. There's a pocket actually in the vellum, and then when you put it down on your page, you'll have an extra slot for a pocket there. And then by folding the trim over, I created a little tuck spot pocket there to house these little balloon journal cards. I think that's really cute. I'm wondering if I should add a little pearl to each of those dots. What do you think? Is that too much? Would that be too much, guys? Let me just look at the top one and see. It's really cute. But when you flip it over to write on it, it's going to have a little bit of a bump. What do you think? You know what? I'm going to go for it. I just think these are so pretty. Let me grab 3 of them. That's what we're going to do. All right, let me pull this a little closer to my face. So I can glue these down. glue all over my fingers now. It's kind of hard to... maneuver. All right. Come on, little one. I think it's cute. Okay. There we go, guys. I think I'm going to stop. All right. That is my make for week, what are we on, week 8? Got a 4-tiered pocket. And I think it's lovely. All right. 1 pocket, 2 pockets, 3 pockets, and when you put it down on your page, you've got a 4th slot for a pocket there. Made with vellum and lace trim. All right, guys, I hope you guys like the make. That's going to be completed. I just got to find a place in my journal for it. Oh, I love it. Kind of shabby chic Victorian. All right, before I let you go, guys, let's pull and roll the dice for next week. I'm going to push that off to the side. That can continue setting and drying. And I've got my bowl. Let's pull out my die. It's in here somewhere. All right, let's give this a shimmy and a shake. And let's roll the dice. You ready? 2 again. Wow. All right. I'm not looking. Promise. 1. 2. All right. Let's see what we got. Chair. And cat. Okay. So those are our prompts for next week's make. Now you can make a journal card, you can make a tag, you can make a pocket, you can make a belly band, you can make a little mini journal, you can make a journal spread, whatever you want to do. But just as long as they have those 2 prompts, and anything else is optional. All right, guys, that's my make. Thank you so very much for stopping by my channel. I hope you liked the make today. I hope you will follow along and participate in this challenge that I have started. I am having a lot of fun. All right, that's it. If you found something of value in this video, please hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment and a like. I would love to hear from you. As always, thank you so much. Take care, God bless, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.